doing? Someone is ready for tonight.
Yes, definitely. Exciting stuff.
It's going to be a blessing. But let's take the opportunity of this great song talking about the faithfulness of God to celebrate the faithfulness of God in two lives today. First and foremost, a happy birthday to Pastor Mensa Otabil, General Overseer, International Central Gospel Church. Pastor Otabil, there's a man in Parliament who works in Parliament who loves you so much, and he's asked me to dedicate this song and Jeremiah 31:17 to you. Jeremiah 31:17. That's from CNN Onikwe in Parliament. And from all of us here at the Multimedia Group and all of your loyal followers across the world, we say happy birthday to you. It's also the 5th wedding anniversary, guys, of one of our most loyal listeners, Pastor Ebenezer Obing Tieku and his wife, both in Koforidua. Happy wedding anniversary, Pastor Tieku, Pastor and Mrs. Tieku. Guys, you want to say anything to them?
Yeah, we wish them all the best.
And yes, definitely. And also happy birthday to Pastor Mensa Otabil. I would like to say that regardless of what has gone on in the past few months, you continue to be somebody that we look up to. Your wisdom and the words that you speak under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit still continue to change lives. For that, we are grateful for answering the call of God on your life. And a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Reverend Otabil. So let's look at what's on the front pages, shall we?
The Daily Statesman. Government to address challenges with double track system. Stop corruption and rule for 30 years. That's from Professor Okwe to the NPP. And Ghana capable of weaning itself off aid. That's according to Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor who paid a visit to Ghana yesterday.
VW plant coming. German Chancellor breaks news is also one of the big stories happening today. Bagbin to review right information. E-waste recycling plant for Agboblosi. Big time coming soon. The NDC is working very hard, according to the Daily Guide, to stop 54 projects from Chinese deal. Those are the stories on the front page of the Daily Guide.
The new crusading guide. Alarm blows as agenda gets KK Sapong out fails to click. GNPC renders unflinching support in property acquisition. Disabled persons shame Bagbin critics and big boost to economy. The Merkel story also on the front page of the new weekend crusading guide.
The Ghanaian Observer is reporting this morning Rawlings Bear State warned NDC delegates to reject money and material inducements as Gussie challenges Mahama et al. At the NDC 2025 Bear race. Importers go wild over CTN, petition Akufo-Addo to withdraw policy, and they have suspended their intended action to for Monday. And there's a story about how Easy Pay wins Ghana's Big Gold Awards.
The front page of the Herald, presidents, ministers, and IGP stay away from $9.1 million cars as they refuse to use them months after delivery. Petroleum Commission summons Siemens Oil and Gas firm for breaking Ghanaian laws, and IMF queries finance minister over $2 million bauxite deal.
Now, the Chronicle is reporting this morning, wicked and malicious. Brian the Champion reacts to the Chronicle story, and the commentary in reaction to that is from the lawyer, Ifadata. He said, I stand by content of letter to Brian, that's him there. And MPP is the only party anchored on rich tradition. This is the General Secretary of the party talking here. And the GRA boss takes tax education to the Baptist Convention, since the people may soon be paying.
On the front page of the Daily Graphic, VW to set up in Ghana, Germany to also supply technologies for power plant, vaccine country, shipping associations call of protest. Abdul Hamid happy with construction of astroturfs in Zongo communities. Ghana extends continental shelf, that's according to the Ministry of Energy. And on the back page of the Daily Graphic, fishermen demonstrate against unfair treatment on Volta Lake. Dedeso Holdings denies claims.
The Finder is reporting this morning, of course, 3 German companies to invest in Ghana in energy. One, the automobile part you made is the second one, and there's also a pharmaceutical one expected pretty soon. Vetting of small-scale miners begin. soon. That's on Monday. This is good news for them. But there's one more you should be interested in. MTN raised 1.15 billion from the IPO. They missed their 3.4.8 billion targets. Those are the stories on the front page of the Finder.
And finally, from me, the Business and Financial Times, a Greek census needs more clarity to be successful. MTN raises 1.1 billion in IPO, like Raymond says. Audit service to scrutinize road projects, and CTN implementation postponed to October 15.
The big story on the front page of the Ghanaian Times says Public Procurement Authority saves government 1.6 billion Ghana cedis in 15 months. Also, well, the Zongo Minister has two tough stories also on the front page here. But there's more issue though. Court orders Bishop Obinim to produce samples of his signature for verification and authentication.
So, guys, let's begin with one of the biggest stories on social media now. VW is setting up a factory in Ghana.
Yes, so we know that Angela Merkel was in town yesterday. She's the Chancellor of Germany. And while she was here, Ghana and Germany signed 3 memoranda of understanding, the VW being one of them. So the first one was for the supply of technology for the construction of a vaccine country. That's between Robert Bosch Packaging and Aspire X. Then the second one was the one between Volkswagen and Ghana's Ministry of Trade and Industry for the establishment of an automotive assembling plant. The third one was between Voith Hydro Holding and COKG and Tapcon Limited, signed to supply technology for the construction of a hybrid solar hydro power plant. So we actually have 3 agendas that we're looking at in terms of business and working together.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we also know that she and President Akufo-Addo held bilateral talks yesterday. They talked about a lot of things. They talked about the youth, employment, infrastructure, Kofi Annan, and a host of other things. Now, the thing is that we've had a pretty good relationship with Germany. Between 2009 and 2015, Ghana has benefited from 260 million euros in technical and financial support. The recent one being the 100 million agreements that were signed for the support of the promotion of private investment. So we'll be watching this space to see if these agreements or these understandings are consummated.
Raymond, give me a minute on this one. It seems like there's a lot more. In the first place, Ghana is the second highest African country to receive with trade ties with Germany. We are the second highest, but it's still a bit of the low side. If you compare what is happening in Africa right now with the UK coming in, with Germany coming in, to what's the backdrop of what China has already been doing, about 170 billion.
Yes.
Remember, the UK, they signed an MOU for 20 million. That creates 15,000 jobs. It's like chicken change for China. China has done 24,000 in South Africa alone.
If they drop their 2 billion alone to Ghana, you should understand that we are currently on a different pedestal in this particular case. But you see, there's a scramble again for African resources, for African engagement, because this continent has labor that's relatively cheaper. The continent has resources that are easily tapped, that can easily be bartered into giving you some money and other things. So that is where to go.
You know, factories are even relocating from China to Africa.
Yes, many of them.
China used to have very, very cheap labor because of their population, but now the focus is shifting here.
Maybe the textile industry ought to take advantage of that system too, so that we can benefit fully from all of these. There'll come a time that industrialization also push our costs way higher, and whether or not we as a country have a plan on what to do going forward in that case is also important. And the bigger question that's always been asked is, what is the Ghanaian interest? How is that furthered in all of these engagements? Because, of course, no country comes to you, come and do Father Christmas things.
But you see, Raymond, when the world's focus was shifting to the USA, at the time where it looked like France and England are sort of fighting out this battle over more control within the West Indies at the time, it seems the USA won out. Again, it got to a point that a lot of companies moved their factories to China because of cheaper labor. It seemed China won out. China is now the world superpower. Yeah. And now VW has set up factories in Rwanda, has set up factories there's another East African country. I'm sure you remember it later. And then we're about to set up here. I'm thinking that if we can get the basics of cost of power and cost of doing business generally right, we can win out in the end. I don't know what you think about that. But anyway, it's an interesting subject. I wish I could talk about this for an hour. but we have to move on. Ray, let's move into the NDC, shall we?
Yes, the issue that we've already been speaking about, 2 billion coming from China. The first tranche is supposed to be some 500 million US dollar, and the money is not coming to our pockets, as has been told consistently. We are giving bauxite to China. China will then, Sino Hydro will then go to one of those Chinese banks, be it Exim or whichever source, will give them money. Then they will go and take money and come and do projects for us. In the first round, we are looking at some 40-kilometer road from Ahinakwa to Obuasi Road, 21-kilometer to so many. I mean, to be clear, there are close to 18 different projects in the first round, mostly road projects that are supposed to be done by China in the $500 million part of the 2 billion. Now, the master facility agreement has raised concerns. Remember that when the debate came before Parliament, the minority said classify it as loan because it is eventually, successfully, and in every part of it a loan. The majority says no, this is proper financial engineering that makes you get projects in exchange of bauxite without you saying it is a loan. Now, the most recent development, of course, you know that the minority then wrote to the IMF, and George Rafi got some contact from the IMF, who were very clear in their minds that they have received the minority's complaint. They are looking into that and finally will determine whether this should be classified as loan or not. You know, when it's loan, it's going to possibly throw out of range fiscal deficit plan for the year, then our debt to GDP going forward too, and that's going to affect our completion of the IMF project, which may make it difficult for us to do the things we want to do in the incoming year, actually. So that is where the difficulty has been. Yesterday, the Fitch report outlined some of this risk to nation Ghana, risk to China itself, Sino Hydro as a third party, when the political implications of some of these risks, and brought in all of the factors and advised that we may be careful in engaging forward on this particular matter. But the caution from the Daily Guide is that the NDC is doing Nicodemus things on this matter. Yeah.
And already the IMF director has mentioned that we may need to move from the deadline from December 2018 to April 2019.
Yeah.
And remember, Dr. Alsafumafo mentioned that under the IMF program, we can't create even more jobs. We may even have to fire within the public sector. So that is the impact of a simple decision like, is this going to be a loan or is this going to be a barter? It could squeeze government hiring for an even longer period. But then let's stay with the NDC in another.
Yes, and second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Albin Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, has officially notified the opposition national. What's the matter?
Oh, you got the way you said it gingerly.
We thought you knew it. Anyway, proceed.
It's Sumana Kingsford Bagbin.
Oh, so I said Sumana and it's Sumana.
Yeah.
Sumana, all right. Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin. You've killed my vim. That he's interested in becoming the party's flag bearer for the 2020 presidential election. So Alban Bagbin sent a letter to the General Secretary yesterday that he is interested in becoming a flag bearer, and also that his team is going to share information with the rank and file on why the party lost power in 2016 so that the delegates will be well informed in the selection of the next flag bearer. Now, this is what he said. He said, I have taken this decision after serious introspection and wide consultation with elders, executives, and the rank and file of the party. He also said that as we strive to build a strong party to win election 2020 and beyond, it is my fervent prayer that good conscience and fair play prevail in this contest. May our social democratic credentials shine in order to persuade the people and give hope to Ghanaians of a better future, thus pave the way for victory 2020. And those are the words of Alban Bagbin. Also, on the same vein, Augustus Gusi Otano, one-time aide for former President Jerry John Rawlings, has also indicated that he will be standing for flag bearer for the NDC. He's the 11th candidate so far, so it looks like we might be hitting the 17 number like the NPP. But the thing that was funny about his pronunciation is that according to the Daily Guide, even when he was pronouncing National Democratic Congress, he called it New Democratic Congress before he corrected himself along the line. Now, if you remember, he left the NDC in 2000 to form the NRP, which was his own party. Now, he said, I believe that a renewed and revitalized NDC will have the values, the organizational potentials, and vision to lead Ghana to realize the dream of the Fourth Republic.
And which one did you say earlier? Sumana Kingsford back then. We are told, reliably informed by Malik Abbas Dabo that you were right. So come for your stone.
Thank you, Malik. You have redeemed yourself in my eyes.
And you trust the Malik part.
Oh, his name is Malik Abbas Dabo.
Thank you.
You cannot
Thank
claim.
you.
cannot
Thank
make
you.
claims.
And
Thank you very much.
unlike when it comes to Voltarian matters, you don't have marital affiliation. So let's move on, Raymond.
Now, okay, so vetting of small-scale miners is set to begin on Monday, and the Inter-Ministerial Committee on Illegal Mining is the one giving the indication that this is how it's going to be like. They're starting from the central region. So from September 3 to September 7, they are going to do central region. And in the western region, September 10 to 14, the eastern region will take up 17 to the 21st. The Ashanti region will be 24 to the 28th of September. Then the move to October, starting with Burnout region, 1st to 5th of October is where the BA will get this chance. Upper East will be from 8 to 12. The Upper West is 15th to the 19th. Then the Northern region is the final one with the October 22 to 26. There's a reason why two regions are not represented on this list. That is the Greater Accra region and the Volta region. It was always understood that these two regions had very little activity by way of illegal mining happening there, and that the Galamsey was only happening predominantly in the 8 regions. And you know, this is coming on the heels of the impending announcement of the final lifting of the ban on small-scale mining in this particular case. So now, see, they are using the word small-scale mining and also use artisanal mining in this case. So if you are even into artisanal mining and qualified to still go into operation, they'll vet you to see whether you would be able to do the things required. We know that some 5,000 also are undergoing some training in different batches to be able to do the sustainable mining project that they are coming, and this is part of the MMIP that the government said will roll out nicely. On the other hand, the land recovery process is also happening. Sergeant is leading that effort in very wonderful ways anyway.
Great. Raymond, let's skip to the final story on the PPA saving 1.6 billion, shall we, before we go online?
Yes, you know, beginning last year and the very beginning of this year, we're given the indication that 750 million was the amount of money they've saved so far. But when you extend it to the 15th month, it has been extended to 1.6 billion. Here is how it works. Previously, the law, which came into being in 2012, allowed them to go through the process and protect the public purse. But what was the practice, because of the lack of skills and other things needed by the PPA, was that they only asked for the reason. So if you want to do sole sourcing, there are a couple of reasons that I can cite. One is that it's urgent and that this is the only grouping that can give us the product in the country, and we needed to do some other things. Remember the bus branding thing? The argument we did for sole sourcing and the bus branding was that it was very urgent. And there's mass upheaval that we needed the buses on the ground to promote transportation. In this particular case. Now, they were not checking the amount of money involved. So, if it's urgent, then we can let it go and you can proceed with your procurement. But now, when you say it's urgent, they now go back to look at how much is it going to cost.
Okay.
Then they will check on the international market, check on the local market, compare the prices and say, no way. If it exceeds that, then bring it down. It's either you are bringing it down or they are rejecting it. So this has led to a huge rejection in the number of sole sourced and restricted tendering, what they call procurement. And also, when it is not rejected, the numbers are cut down. That's where we say the savings have been. But it's unclear whether these people ought to be prosecuted, because the law says so. That the people cannot continuously abuse the process.
But Raymond, if the law says so, why is it unclear?
No, I'm saying it's
if
unclear.
They are going to be.
No, if they are going to be prosecuted.
Okay.
Yes.
But the law
case.
says so. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get your need for clarity there. Now, the online news review is where we go next. It's brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest. Goil Good Energy. Now, download the Save Doctor app now from the Google Play. Save Doctor, the future of better medical care. Now, you've got great love for your vehicle. You want the engine to last longer and to perform to its maximum. It's okay. Goil has the new super synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubricants for you. These specially engineered superior engine oils work efficiently on all modern petrol and diesel engines. They clean, protect, reduce fuel consumption, prolong oil change intervals, and enhance engine performance from startup till you switch off. Go to any Goil filling station and grab the new Goil Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Engineering innovation for your vehicle has arrived. Goil Good Energy. Now, did you know that paying school fees can be as easy as ABC? Did you know that Zenith Bank provides the most reliable school fees payment service? Well, now you know. Visit any of our business locations nationwide for easy and prompt school fees payments, or visit our website zenithbank.com.gh to pay school fees via Zenith Global Pay. If you're a Zenith Bank customer, that is. Now, Zenith School Fees Payments is your stress-free solution to paying school fees. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. My joint line leads with Prof. Jema Bwedi dissects Ghana's 25 years of democracy in 1 hour. Stay tuned to the Super Morning Show. We'll bring you more details of that. Mahama's 2020 eligibility rests with Parliament's Ken Kranche, managing editor of the Searchlight newspaper, speaking there on PM Express, to be precise, on Joy News on Multi TV. And the BBC.com says Bobby Wine, Uganda's pop star MP, rearrested at airport. Oh, just after we finished celebrating his release. That's very, very unfortunate. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for bringing us the news review, and we will be back with more after the BBC News at 7. Stay with us. This is the Super Morning Show.
This was Kwame